Hello and welcome to this video from the 5-Minute Exam English channel. In this video I'm going to help you with the speaking section of the Pearson Test of English. One of the tasks that you have to do in the speaking section is describe an image from an academic source. Your image could be a line graph, a chart, a map, a table, or a picture. In this video, I'm going to focus on how to describe line graphs and pie charts. I'm going to teach you how to organize your answer, and I'm going to show you some very useful words and phrases that you can use to describe a line graph or pie chart. Let's start with some very important information about the Describe an Image task. This task is scored according to 3 factors. Good pronunciation means that you pronounce individual sounds correctly. It also means that you use correct stress and intonation. When it comes to oral fluency, you don't have to speak fast to get a good score. However, it's important to speak without making a lot of pauses. And if you say a lot of times, you're probably not going to get a good score for oral fluency. If you want a good score for content, you must use a good variety of vocabulary so that you can describe your graph or chart in detail. You also need good grammar, and it's necessary to organize your answer. Let's focus on how to organize an answer next. On the screen now, I have a line graph and an example of how you could describe the graph. It is strongly recommended that you organize your answer in 3 steps. First, you need an introduction, which describes what your image is about in general. Next, you need a body, which describes the main details of your image. When you have a line graph or a pie chart, you should ask yourself, what are the highest and lowest numbers? These are very important details to include in your body. Finally, you should make a short conclusion. If you have a line graph, I think it's a good idea to talk about the trend of the graph from the beginning to the end. Was it a positive or negative trend, or was the trend up and down? Now let's look at the key words and phrases that I have used in my text. These are good verbs to use in your introduction. They're easy to remember and they're easy to pronounce. Here's a good phrase that you can use when you want to begin your body. I recommend that you practice saying this phrase so you remember it and are able to use it fluently when it's time to take the exam. Hit a low refers to this point in the graph, where the trend arrived at its lowest number. Just over is a good phrase to use when it's difficult to give an exact number. The opposite of just over is just under. Rose is the past tense of rise. Synonyms of rose include increased, went up, and climbed. Overall is a good word to use when you want to start your conclusion. If figures varied significantly, it means they went up and down. By the way, figures means numbers. We could also say the figures fluctuated over the given period. Next, we're going to study a pie chart. This pie chart shows how waste was disposed of in the European Union. When we dispose of something, it means we throw it away, so it's out of sight and no longer a problem. Again, my answer has been organised into 3 parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. We can use this phrase to talk about the biggest number on the chart. The opposite of this phrase is here. Next, we have a fantastic phrasal verb for describing pie charts. When something accounts for, that means it forms part of a total number. In this case, the total number is 100%. Incineration's part is 26%, and landfill's part is 24%. Respectively, means that these numbers follow the same order as the waste disposal methods. I've highlighted this word, but really I need to change it. It's not a good idea to use the verb to be when we provide numbers. This is a much better verb. When we have an even split, that means we have 2 sides that are equal. Environmentally friendly ways of waste disposal account for 50% of the chart. Environmentally damaging ways account for 48%. That's almost 50-50, so we can say it's almost an even split. Now I'm going to repeat the key words that we studied in this video. You can repeat the words after me if you like. Shows, displays, rows, overall, accounted for, respectively. Looking at the graph in more detail, hit a low, just over, just under, reached a peak, varied significantly, the largest proportion, the smallest proportion, an even split. We've now come to the end of this video from the 5-Minute Exam English channel. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned some useful information. Please let me know if you like this video, and I will be happy to create more video lessons for the Pearson Test of English.